Gemini, welcome to the Astroflower. This is going to be a weekly reading for you. We're going to be going into your chakras, your aura, and also doing the tarots. I have done a collective reading on the changing aspects of the heart and sacrum chakras. It is affecting everybody and everything, like you, me, and us. So that'll be interesting to see. I put that out last Sunday. This Sunday, I've got the collective 3-monthly reading for the equinox and the spring season on the northern hemisphere, autumn season in the southern hemisphere, and I will be doing also your individual reading on Tuesday for those next 3 months. So thank you very much for your support and being here. Let's just jump straight in here. Let's see what's going on with your chakras. So let's see what's going on with the root chakra. Very nice, very well shaped. It's putting things into practice. I think there's a lot of things you've already sorted out in your life here, Gemini, and it's as if like sort of there's a few tiny, very small, very small, tiny teething situations that you need to be dealing with. They're not massive at all, and I think it's going to be in the run of every day, as it were, because on the root chakra you've got a little bit of the root chakra that's wisping up towards the sacrum, but it's also wisping down, so it's putting into place the fundamentals and connecting it to your essential desires. But it's literally it's almost as if like it's the last two threads that are putting into place. So it's not. I think it will just catch itself up in everyday life. Let's just see what's going on here. And yeah, there's okay, interesting, really nice actually. I'm happy for you here. Very happy. It's very charged, the sacrum. A lot of energy going on there. Like all of the mutables in particular, it seems to be a mutable thing. And as Gemini, as you're a mutable, you've got this sacrum, which is, as I say, really nicely charged. It's the funny thing is you're the only sign as yet to have this sort of situation. You've got the right-hand side, your right-hand side, which is a little bit more prominent than your left-hand side, which is really nice because that's all to do with connecting with the essentials in your life, such as relationships, fun, expression, or through art or through the garden, or that sort of simple things of buying things, or just sort of feeding that sort of pleasure side of life, really. And yeah, that's really nice to see within you, Gemini. That's really nice to see. Go get them this week, as far as I can tell. Let's just see what's going on in your solar plexus. So here we go here. Yeah, you've put a lot of things into motion, I think. Yeah, you've put a lot of things into motion, and you're dealing with them in the here and now, as it goes, sort of scenario. There is a major part that's feeding your heart's desires, and as you go and as you're doing things, as you're connecting with people, as you're socializing and connecting, and even heart's desires here, we'll have to look at the heart chakra, but I think it seems to be set up in a way where you're looking for that love, or you're looking to reconnect with your partner, because that's what love's like. It sort of comes and goes a little bit sometimes through longer term relationships, and sometimes it's good to inject a bit of more passion into the relationship, as it were, and it's nurturing the relationship side. And it seems to be like that, but there's a lot of things going on the surface in the here and now, which I think is going to sort of make you feel a lot more at home and a lot more within your rhythm of life, basically. Let's just see what's going on the on your heart chakra. So there is it's almost as if like on your relationship side, or on your emotional sort of side of life, it's very clear for you now. There's no real questions about what you desire within your surroundings and social network and the activities you do, how you connect with people, that sort of thing, and how you live life in a happy-go-lucky sort of set. Not happy-go-lucky, but in a very happy, vibrant sort of sense, which is really nice. On your financial side, however, it doesn't, there's networking going on, there's connecting with people and everything like that, but there doesn't seem to be this passion for what you're doing. It could be that if you started a new business some time ago, back in the autumn period before Christmas or around the Christmas period, it could be a lull in your business a little bit, or taking time out from your business. It could well be a good time to be on holiday this week. But you know, if you're working in a particular job, or you've got a long-term sort of business, it's ticking over. There's no problems with it. It doesn't seem to be any problems, but it will need an injection of passion at some point. I don't think this week. I think this is concentrating on your relationship side this week more than anything else, your emotional well-being. But it may mean within, say, like the next 3 weeks, 4 weeks. We'll see this in your month, in your equinox reading, which goes for 3 months. That would be interesting to see that. And also on the Pluto reading, which I'm going to be doing as well in the following week as well. Because Pluto is going from Capricorn into Aquarius. And it's going to be cut into 2 sections, because it sort of goes out of Capricorn, then goes into Aquarius, then comes back into Capricorn for 2 or 3 months, and then goes back out. So, yes, it'd be interesting to see how that sort of pans out. But I think more on the financial sort of side, it's going to be over the next sort of 2 or 3 weeks where you're going to be kicking that back in, as it were. Let's just see what's going on your third eye and your throat chakra. Okay, it's nicely charged, very beautiful. Not as charged as the other mutable signs, got to be said, and it's not as charged as your sacrum either. I think your here is now enjoying these essential goals in life, these fundamental goals. And when I talk the difference between sort of fundamental goals and desires, is different to heart's desires. So fundamental goals is, say, like, I am hungry. Heart's desires is, what do I want to eat? And this is how the chakra system actually works, and helps us to filter through a lot of things, so we don't actually think with our head. And eventually it gets to our head, and that's when the logic kind of goes, in that case, we need to do this. There you go. No decisions really to be made. And it makes life a lot easier. So here it's not as vibrant as the sacrum. So I think it's really in the case of act, of doing, like an action of love. You know, buying a little present for someone, thinking about someone, you know, letting them know, that sort of thing. It's the physical act of it more than anything else that seems to be playing through here on your crown, on your third eye and your throat chakra. Let's just see what's going on your crown. So your crown is very, very Egyptian. So it's down into timing. It's got this regularity about it all. I want to see if there's what's going on. And it's full. The consciousness is at one with oneself, and it's sitting in harmony with everything. So it's not pushing, your consciousness is not pushing the agenda. It's more of a case of sort of enjoying it. So it's like going down a river in a canoe, where the river is just actually doing the work, and you're just using the consciousness to guide the boat, rather than sort of having to sort of, you know, paddle as well as the river and as well as get direction. That's when it really starts kicking in. It's a really nice, beautiful state. I think it's a really good week for you actually here, Gemini. Let's just see what's going on your aura. There's this realization in the middle of the week, and I think it's where you combine your body, mind and soul, where things really kind of go and click into place. And it seems like the Wednesday, and that's going to be a moment to cherish, not for them, just for the memory, but also for the idea of, okay, now I know how I can actually manifest that moment, how can I keep it going? And that's when you start bringing it into your rhythms of your life. And that's when you start applying things that kind of going, okay, so if I do this, I do this. And, oh yeah, look, that's very similar. It may not be exactly the same. And then you adjust things and move it around. And that's how you explore life, with those rhythms in life, and build things up through you. And those rhythms can be on a daily aspect. They could be on a weekly, monthly, yearly, even sort of lifetime aspect of it all. But it does seem to be like a realization within the middle of the week. And you still have this sort of protection over you because you're following your heart's desires. That seems to be it's as if like you're untouchable. And this is what I think gives that balance within the crown chakra as well. It's a really nice, comfortable week for you. I'd try things out within your relationship sides. If you're looking for love, I'd ask that person out that you think, would be nice to spend time with. If you're in a long-term relationship, just sort of asking them to go to the cinema, even if it's just as simple as that, or just sort of provoking and a little bit of you time, a collective time, or if it's with your family or friends, it's really sort of like, how would you like to come over for a meal tomorrow night? We'll have a few of the friends around, or a few of the family around, or whatever. It's, doing that sort of provoking and trying to create a scenario which you're going to enjoy. Don't do it for other people. Do it because you're going to enjoy it for a start. Start at that point there, and then after that, you'll be doing really well. Okay? Let's just go into your tarot reading now. This is the overall energy. This is the karmic message for the week on your relationship side. This is on your material side, karmic message. The influence from the universe, influence from your guides, influence from the conversation from your guide, and the overall outcome. So let's just see what's going on for you, Gemini. Thank you very much for your support on this channel. Seriously, you're absolutely blinding. Ace of Wands. Going after your passion, getting that victories, understanding how your passion fuels that sort of spirit within you, and allows you to really start new things, get a bit of victory going on, get a bit of momentum in your life, seeing clearly, manifesting almost your dreams and aspirations in the world that is around you. Let's see what's going on in your relationship side. Absolutely brilliant. Learn to be the star. Learn to be the center of the stage. It's not easy. It's not easy, Gemini. And this is where you've got to come from your own passions. If you come from your own passions with the Ace of Wands here, you're going to learn how to be kind of going, come on, let's do it. Da-da! And it's gonna help sort of flow and open up a lot of avenues in your life at the moment. Let's just see how the universe is influencing that. They're sort of saying, yeah, okay, you're going to go forward, right? And this could well be something to do with that realization in the middle of the week. As you go forward, you don't want to go backwards. And that's what those healthy boundaries are all about. It's like on the Ten of Cups, you've got that fence at the beginning of the rainbow. And as the rainbow goes out on these cards here, but it's like a happiness after difficulty. It's happiness after nurturing that tree of life, and all those fruits are available, and you have everything you need. And I think the universe is sort of saying, now you understand this, now's the time to move on. Put those healthy boundaries in place so you recognize if you're going backwards and not going forwards. That's how the universe is trying to help you. You're being called onto a mission. It's all feeding into bringing in a lot of attention towards you, but also you living, just knowing how you should shine. And your guides are, with the coincidences within your relationships, it's bringing you into a sense of mission of kind of going, yeah, I'm really enjoying this, putting it out there to get it back. That's what seems to be happening for you. It's going to provide for you a sense of well-being that is a bit like a healing in a way for you. That's the influence that's going on in your conversation in regards to your relationships. And as I said, lovers, I do think it's on the agenda. I do think it's, and it certainly we could see it in the sacrum. You're on a mission, and this is what the fundamental essentials are all about. And it's going to make you, when you really are on this mission, it's going to bring you to the fore. People are going to recognize you and kind of go, Gemini's got it going on. Gemini's doing it. You know, that sort of scenario. So on the relationship side, yeah, I would push doors and open them up and see what sort of happens for you. On your financial sort of side, you've got a strength card. So this is what I'm saying is things are ticking over. I think it's almost sort of saying you've got to learn to have confidence in what you've done in your workspace. If you've been working hard and everything like that, then, I think you're going to be secure. I don't think you have to worry about life. And that's a little bit like that because the strength card as well is overcoming your inner sort of doubts and stuff like that, and your inner fears in a way. That's what the strength card is all about, and keeping a good focus on the goal, but without sort of like getting distracted and stuff like that. And that's what I sort of said, within your heart chakra, it's a kind of matter of fact. There's not a lot of energy that's going on there. It's just keeping an eye on things and being on top of things, and just being that strength and being that strength and that reliable aspect of the business or the jobs that you're doing and stuff like that. And if you're looking for a job, you've got to just knock down those doubts that you might have, that you're sort of saying, I just can't get a job. I can't get a job. You gotta get a hold of them and sort of saying, no, I'm going to get a job. The moment you start talking to yourself like that, you can walk away. And this is what, normally this is to do with separation. But because we're on the financial sort of side, it's not about that. And the universe here is trying to say to you, get round that idea of kind of going, I'm never going to make it. So if you've got that sort of scenario within you, let's just say, you're on your business, you've been really trying hard on your business, and you've got to quell those doubts about why you started it and why you're doing it. And this week here is just be a case of networking and keeping things on the flow as it goes, as it were. It's also sort of like taking out the emotions of it. So you're taking out the stress. And this is what the universe is trying to ask you to do. Let go of a few things in regards to stress about your business and how you progress on, Gemini. Okay? I think it's planning for the future. As I said, I don't think there's a great deal going on at the moment. It could be a moment where, as I said, where you're just keeping an eye on your goal. And this week here is just assessment of what you want to do, of how you want to go forward. The mission seems to be on your relationship side, as I called in your heart chakra. It was so obvious, and obvious within your sacrum as well. That's why I did that reading for the heart chakra and the sacrum, because it seems to be affecting everybody. I'd ever go and have a look at that. It's a very interesting scenario in accordance to the overall energies, basically. Star. Keeping your eye on the goal. Keeping your eye on your desires, your heart's desires. As I said, I think this will come through really in the next sort of like 2 weeks, 3 weeks, which we'll see in the equinox reading as well. But this is where you're keeping your eye on your goal, and the conversation in you is going to also direct you that way. So maybe not this week is not the week to act. Don't put your passions into it. Put the passions into your personal life this week. It's all about love this week for you, Gemini. It's all about love. And it's lovely to see. I'm so happy for you, in a way. Okay, 10 of Wands. The amount of people who have had the 10 of Wands in that position. I think you're the 4th or the 5th out of the 8 that I've done so far. And it's a lot. And in that position there. And I do believe it's like the end of something. And I think this comes into that realization that you do in the middle of the week. It's the end of carrying all the responsibility for the entire human race. We just need to stop doing that. Imagine if we looked after ourselves properly. And I really do mean look after ourselves in what we eat, what we do, look after our well-being, our happiness and stuff like that. Rather than asking big power or big governments or big business to take over that responsibility. Once we start doing that, we're not going to need so much the big business and the big governance. They can just deal with the little stuff to protect us, so we don't have to concentrate on being protected, because that's what they're supposed to be doing. That's the reason they've got the big power. So I think this is a case here, of this week here, is letting go of that responsibility, that weight that we're carrying, which doesn't really help anybody in the situation, just makes everybody feel just laden more than anything else. So it needs to be let go of. I do want to get a few, I'm just going to have a quick peek into the following week after that. We're going to pull some cards on the 10 of Wands and just see what's going on there with that thing there. So you got the seven of Wands coming here, and this is like, it's almost like you've created your position in your relationship here, and then after there you have to know how to nurture it. But nurture it is in, I'm going to defend this position, I'm going to stick with it, I'm going to and you do, Gemini. You're very good at this, and I don't think you have to defend it in the way of fighting for it, but I think it's a case of fighting for you so you don't forget those boundaries, those healthy boundaries that you're going, that came up through this week here. And in the following weeks, it's kind of saying, I'm not going back to that. I want to retain my position. I want to be at one with myself. And then you've got the Five of Swords. So in order to get this out, this is on your financial sort of side. So in order to get to that heart's desires, those dreams, keeping your eye on the goal, you're going to have to walk away from conflict that doesn't really serve you. And it's going to take a bit of planning, I think, in this week. And I think the following weeks, this is how you can walk away from those conflicts, which will allow you to concentrate on those goals overall. And going through on the future, you've got the Four of Wands, which is brilliant. Because by the end of that, and I think this is where it really comes into play in the third week then, and by the end of that, you're going to be going through like a door from one world to another, and that's when you're going to really start hitting the energies in your business sort of side of life. Because this side here, you're going to be nurturing it, I think, for the next couple of weeks. Next 2 or 3 weeks, it's going to be really implied a lot more into that sort of situation. There you go, Gemini. Thank you very much for being with us and the support that you give this channel by subscribing and clicking that bell. You'll see these 3 monthly readings coming up over the weekend, and for you on your individual reading on Tuesday. So I'd love to see you there for that. In the meantime, don't forget, life should be fun, so please do enjoy.